An issue developing right now at Central Count in the city of Milwaukee, where they are opening all the 100,000 plus early votes and running them through the tabulation machines. They've had an issue this afternoon.
Yeah, so let's get to our Jenna Ray, who is at Central Count at the Baird Center. So Jenna, what are you finding out?
Susan and Steve, this is breaking news within just the last several minutes. Election officials here in the city of Milwaukee are telling us that they have to recount 31,000 ballots that have already gone through these tabulation machines behind me. Now, they started counting around 8:45 this morning. Again, 31,000 ballots have already been counted. They have to recount every single one of them. Election officials are telling us that there was an issue with the sealing of the tabulation machine. Now, these machines are currently being reset, every single one of them. There's 13 of them here that count the hundreds of thousands of ballots that we're seeing, or really tens of thousands of ballots that we're seeing coming in here to Central Count. Now, the reason that they're telling us this is happening is because the ballots were not fully sealed, and so they're having to zero out the 13 machines and rerun all the ballots through. We're told there is a sealing process of those tabulation machines and then a door. The door allegedly is what was not closed properly. They don't think there was an error. However, to be out of an abundance of caution, they are rerunning and recounting 31,000 ballots. Now, again, this started at 8:45 this morning. It's 4:25 right now. Several hours have already gone into counting tens of thousands of ballots. So obviously, this puts the count behind. We're already anticipating these absentee and early voting ballots to not be finished counting until well after midnight. Now there is truly no idea when these counts are going to be finished. Again, they are resetting all of these machines behind me. We have asked to actually physically see the machines and see what the problem is. And if I get more information on that, I'll be sure to let you know. Susan and Steve.
Jenna, just to clarify some of the language you used there, it's not the ballots themselves, as you said, that were unsealed. It's the tabulators, the serial numbers, the USB ports. There was a seal on that, and that was what was found to be broken. Nothing having to do with individual ballots.
That is correct. So
okay.
The ballots have already been sealed by the real people who you see, unfolding, refolding, and putting these ballots, sealing them in their envelopes, and then going into the machine. It's a sealing inside the tabulation machine that was the problem. So it should technically run faster, counting those 30,000 ballots. But again, they have to rerun all of them.
So is it their feeling that it's going to take, okay, if it started at 8:45 this morning, that it is going to take another 8 hours, or has there been some legwork done on the front end where this possibly might not take as long as it did the first time around?
Susan, election officials say they really have no idea, but again, they did already hand seal those ballots. So that's really the longer process of putting them through the tabulation machine. So that longer process is finished. They just simply have to rerun them through the machine again, but they're anticipating several more extra hours than we were already anticipating previously.
Okay.
And Jenna, one last question. I know there's a phalanx of microphones set up there at a podium. Is Paulina Gutierrez going to get to those microphones and explain to everybody what happened, that apparently 15 of 16 tabulators had busted seals?
That's correct. So we are expected to hear from Paulina Gutierrez any minute now. She's the elections commissioner here in the city of Milwaukee. We did speak with other election officials here who gave us just a brief update before I hopped on air here, but we're expecting to hear from the commissioner herself in just a few minutes.
All right, we will get that on the air as soon as we can.
Thanks, Jenna.